Good day, everyone. Uh, I would like to talk about digitalization. Everybody are talking about digitalization, but I would like to emphasize on pushes for digitalization, especially the pushes coming from COVID-19 situation. For this, I will go narrow with the case of tourism industry. My name is Shahryar Sorooshian, and this is part of a research with University of Gothenburg. I'm sharing with you here in this keynote. Thank you for listening to this presentation. Let's move to the next slide and start our presentation with an introduction. International Conference on Business, Economics, Law, Language, and Psychology. I will try to cover a few of these key terms, like I start with economics, then I go with business, somehow psychology, and then I try to link COVID-19 pushes with it. Communities need to be active in different industries, production of goods or services, to generate some money to, you know, be a live society. And also getting some profit, and based on the profit, they can satisfy the need of society, the need of public, and then life goes on and on. This is a very simple definition or very simple view to the economy for different communities. Now, different communities need to have different active industries to contribute to this economy. Industries like manufacturing, or let's say automotive manufacturing, technology manufacturing, different type of um, production of goods, and then production of services like tourism, like education, like different other industries in service. Also, maybe you can say that agriculture industries, and then so many other industries that can contribute more or less to the economy of a community. Okay, one of these industries that can contribute to the economy is tourism. Tourism comes from the idea of, let's say, when people or individuals are moving from their, what they call it, the usual environment to another place for different purposes, like sometimes leisure, sometimes spending time with families, sometimes can be business or purposes behind this traveling, and if different reasons, different motivations. Let's call it traveling motivation, traveling and transportation. It is impossible uh, to visit another country if you cannot travel there. So traveling and specifically transportation is, the main part of tourism. This tourism industry actually is a growing industry. It was expected that every year until 2030, we have more than 3% increasing in number of tourists visiting different places. So it all or mostly depends on traveling, transportation. But there is an issue now. What is that? COVID-19, an infection disease caused by coronavirus, which was started in end of 2019, and in 2020 it was announced that COVID-19 is a pandemic and affecting the whole world. So starting from 2020, we are facing a pandemic. This is a crisis for tourism. This COVID-19 actually was kind of new to all of us, to the world. So the first suggestion from us scientists, in this area, was trying to stop transmission of this virus with social distancing. The problem was quarantine. Many societies or many people are now in quarantine, mandatory kind of quarantines or self-chosen quarantines. We are working from home. We are not traveling that much comparing to before COVID-19. So transportation is minimized. People try to play safe, so they minimize their outdoor activities. These are the effects of COVID-19, which is affecting our life, which is affecting our uh, traveling, kind of, which is affected our economy. And the problem is when we are feeling uh, that we are alone, we are feeling lonely. The problem is when we cannot communicate with each other. The problem comes when we are in, sticks to our home. We are working from home. We are, uh, even shopping everything from home. So we are spending most of our time in a you know in a room and with less social activities. So that is one of the issues caused by this social distancing. That distance. Again, one step deeper. Let's see what is the problem here. One of the problems that comes from this social distancing and distance working is mental health burdens. When people cannot communicate, when people are staying in a closed environment and not much change, repeating of routines. So this is one of the problems caused by this social distancing. We have a stress of infection. We can see from the news, we can see from social media that infection rate is high. We can see that there is some mortality rate because of this COVID-19. So it is a stress. We are stuck in a closed place. We are stuck in our home. So our life is a bit different comparing to 2019 or 20 before that. So these are all mental health burdens. What is problem here? When we stuck at home, one of the problems of mental health burden uh, with the reason of COVID-19 is stress, stress of being sick, stress of losing families. Another one is depression, repeating of the same life in the same place, all in home. So less communication will cause depression. If you search online, there are lots of papers highlighting that this COVID-19 have increased the depression rate in many societies. And then this stress, this depression will cause um, will will cause some physical problems also. Not only the psychological issue, but a physical issue also can be caused by this depression and stress. Our working performance can be affected by this depression. Our quality of life is already affected by this situation. So one of the problem is depression. Societies are observing the increasing rate of depression, increasing rate of stress, increasing rate of physical issues because of this stress and depression. Okay, problem one. Here, problem two. When you cannot go outside your home, when it is difficult, you work outside, your business will be affected, right? Many businesses are in a crisis now because of this COVID-19. Oh, so we have issues with business activities or outdoor activities. This is problem two. And then societies are off. We see that lots of events, lots of conferences, lots of festivals, lots of ceremonies, lots of celebrations are cancelled due to this COVID-19 situation. So societies are kind of off now. That is another problem. We don't have active societies. So it may cause some financial costs. It may cause some mental burden again. It may cause lots of issues, all because of COVID-19. When we are uh, in this situation, is it end of our world? That is the question. Societies are off. We are stuck at home. Businesses are in problem. Uh, Many people are in risk of depression, in risk of infection, in risk of other physical issues because of this stress. Is it end of the world? We can see not end of the world. We can see that still we are working, still we have some activities, still we are spending our time. You see, still conferences, even by distance, but still we have conferences. Still there is a place to share our ideas, our researches, well, our findings. To communicate, still we can call our friends, we can talk through phones, we have internet helping us. Still, we can buy things even without leaving home. Online shopping, e-commerce, these lots of electronic services that are available these days. Even you see, we are working from home with use of ICT. ICT, or Information and Communication Technology, is an extension of IT, information technology. which is saying that how we can use these technologies in information and communications, let's say computers, mobile phones, these kind of electronic and digital gadgets that we have, how we can use it to enhance the quality of our life, enhance the quality of our businesses, enhance the quality of our societies. We saw that this ICT, information and communication technology, played a significant role during this COVID crisis. uh, online shopping, working from home through online tools, online conferences, even virtual museums, virtual tours, online communications. So ICT is showing its capability of being a mean for these kind of situations. Uh, let's say thanks to ICT, but how we can use it even better, even more productive, even more, even uh, you know for solving that problems that we already discussed, how ICT can contribute there. So even though we are in a crisis, even though COVID-19 affected our life, but we are still working, we are still alive, and we find a solution for these COVID-19 issues that I've listed. The solution is ICT. Now, there might be some discussions, even though there are some negative points on using information and communication technologies, spending much time with mobile phones, online internet, and then spending lots of time with computers, laptops, these digital tools, gadgets. Might cause some issues. There might be some negative issues, but the point is, for this situation, my personal perspective says that ICT played a significant role to help human beings be alive and societies be alive during the crisis, with allowing communications, with allowing sharing information, with allowing running activities, businesses, with allowing having this conference, having similar conference, having similar events, having different activities online or digitally. So these are the positive points that is benefiting our life. Okay, moving back to tourism industry, we see that this ICT can contribute to tourism industry by providing possible virtual travels. From a simple one like this conference that we are attending virtually to the conference without traveling, to the event place. Some of us actually, without traveling to the event place, to those museums that are providing services with virtual tours, with 3D tools, with 360-degree tools. Uh, this kind of practices is showing that traveling through wires, through uh, ICT support is possible. So that is a good news. That says that we are uh, having opportunities to perform during the crisis. This is good that we know that we are connected. ICT is already helped a lot to connect people from four corners of the world. That is good for tourism also, because conferences, yeah, are working. Educational tourism can be in some extent uh, doable, possible. Uh, Health tourists in some extent when it is time to visit doctors, visit specialists. Online visits is possible, even some surgeries with with help of ICT. Yeah, the news says it is possible. Other type of tourism like visiting cultural tourists, visiting festivals, visiting different events, visiting different concerts. Yeah, do it is still possible through virtual reality, through even a simple internet connection. Digitalization uh, can contribute to tourism, especially in the time of COVID-19 crisis. Not only because of tourism, because of the reason that tourism is a profit-making industry for industry, but because tourism is contributing to the quality of life for societies, for individuals. Because this change of life, this tourism contribution, can be a cure for depression, can be a mean for you know uh, lessen the stress, can be an option to run the business, can be an option to have alive societies, alive events going on. So this is saying that at the time of COVID-19, at least this digitalization is a clue. Now, are we using our ICT tools in 100% capacity? I don't think so. There are a lot more capability in current ICT development that is still can be applied in our life. But are we ready for this change? This change to be digitalized, uh, just let's say for the case of tourism, uh, it is not fully utilized. Tourism industry can be more digitalized, especially now when there is a push from COVID to go online, to be electronic based, to be digitalized. When there is a push that if you want to, solve those problems that we have discussed earlier, you need to find a key. The key is ICT. Use it. So now there is a push from COVID-19 to be digitalized. But how we can change? Do we really need to change, or we can wait for future and see what is happening after COVID-19 crisis? Yes, you are correct when you're saying that COVID-19 is not going to stay with us for a long time. You also are correct when you're saying that this COVID-19 have influence on our behavior, have changed customers' behavior, have changed people's behavior, society's behavior. Now we get kind of used to the easiness of using internet for shopping. We are getting used to of the uh, being with online conferences, being with online meetings, business meetings. Now we see that how useful this information and communication technology can be, how we can save some money using ICT for minimizing transportation, how this ICT can benefit our life, make the life easier. uh, this this tasting of ICT application in life will change our behavior. So we are moving to our new post-COVID era, which is with a taste of ICT, which will be with use of ICT even a lot more than before COVID. Technology is with us, so there is possibility of having transportation-free tourism in some cases. Technology is ready. We have virtual reality, we have ICT tools, we have many other type of technology that can contribute to this shift, to this changing process. For tourism, different cluster of tourism industry can use available technology for this transformation. From educational tourism, uh, different softwares are available to, let's say, adventure tourism, which different technology still available for that. The price will be a bit more or less, uh, the use of technology will be a bit more or less. The knowledge for using of the technology can be a bit different, but still we have the technology for this shift. We have discussed that there are a few problems because of COVID-19, because of post-COVID trend. There are some pushes because of those issues, because of Industry 4.0. So one of the positive points, one of the benefits of having digitalized, tourism industry is minimizing of those problems, is being aligned with those pushes. Another benefits that can be listed here is having mm, smart tourism industry aligned with Industry 4.0 as we discussed. But having a smart tourism is also beneficial for our environment. As you see, green tourism, it means that less transportation, uh, definitely the better environment, because of these fossil fuels that are generating CO2 and harmful for our environment outputs they are. So it helps environment. It also saves some costs. If I don't need to travel to another country because of half an hour meeting, I can save some time, I can save some money, and then same thing performance in some cases, or even better performance in some cases. Sometimes the processes are will be going to be faster and easier and more user friendly if proper technology can support the process. Many other benefits can be listed. Of course, there are some disadvantages also, which need to be considered. But with this, I think we can just close this session and think more about digitalization of industries, especially tourism industry, for a case that we have bring some examples from.